Welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show, a podcast covering all things minor league baseball. Get a front row seat to the action with everything you need to know about the future stars of Major League Baseball. And now, here's your host, Chris Clegg.
What is up, folks? Welcome back into the show. It's been a great weekend of baseball action. I had the Brooklyn Cyclones in town, so that's a lot of fun. That lineup has been tremendous all year. And I know some of the guys have moved up, like Jacob Reimer and Carson Benj, but still a fun lineup and a lot of fun pitchers this weekend that I got to see. So that was exciting. I was really looking forward to seeing that team all year. It'll be interesting because this week, not a lot's close by, not a lot of really good action. I've got Greenville and Spartanburg. Again, I've seen both those teams just so many times, but next week, I'll have Fredericksburg in town. Will Eli Willits debut there? We'll see. It's sure to have Ethan Petrie, so that'll be fun. I've seen him a lot, obviously. And the Carolina Mudcats will be back pretty close to me, so I'll be getting a lot of looks next week. So that'll be a lot of fun. But here to break down all the weekend action across minor leagues, which will include some live looks at some guys that I saw that were very exciting, plus all the other top performers of the weekend. But first, the show is brought to you by Connect Roasters. Connect Roasters is Ian Happ's coffee company. They make incredible coffee. It's just tremendous. All the blends are great. They've got great canned cold brew now. It's awesome. I think it's incredibly smooth. Go check them out at connectroasters.com. Use the code Dynasty Dugout. Get two bags, of the Gold Glove blend. Buy one, get one 50% off by using that code Dynasty Dugout or the link in the description. Also, we're proud to partner with Chinook Seedery, the best seeds in the game. Been chewing on some of the jalapeno ranch today. Those are a great flavor, by the way. They got a ton of good flavors. So you can go check them out at chinookseedery.com. Use code Dynasty Dugout and get 10% off your order there. All right, let's dive in on the show and all the weekend action. We got to start with Spencer Jones. What is going on with this guy? He has been on another level. It's just been insane what he's been doing. And this is a look from Jones' swing in the spring. He's changed a lot, over the last few months. He's consistently just tinkering and toying with some things. But I think Spencer Jones is coming into his own. He got some inside intel that he figured some things out over the last week or so when it comes to contact, when it comes to, obviously, the power we know is there. He hit 4 home runs between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and had 2 homers on Sunday. Big weekend. He had 4 hits on Saturday and Sunday apiece, so 8 hits over those 2 days. That's really impressive. Jones is fascinating. He is such a good athlete for his size. Actually, let me pull that back up. This was from last year. He was in Hudson 2 years ago. He was in Hudson Valley when they were down here in Greenville. He had an 11-second home to first, which is just crazy, or home to third. That's an incredibly fast triple. He smoked that ball. And you can just see the differences. He's really kind of changed the dynamic of who he is as a hitter a lot. But the one thing that stayed consistent with Spencer Jones is the power. And the 9th percentile exit velocity for the year is over 110. He's got a 116 max. He's just checking all the boxes you want to see. And what I was told, there was some tweaks that would help with contact. Hearing an 86% in zone contact over the weekend, that kind of catches my eye. Is it sustainable? I don't know, because the contact rates are absurdly bad. You look at the strikeout rates, and will he just sink when he gets in the majors? We hope not, but it's a chance. Now, if these tweaks are legit, and we know Jones is a tinkerer, he's tinkered with that swing so much, but if he can get it figured out, if he can work through those things, and if he can just even have a 40 hit tool, he's going to be a special player, because that frame with that athletic ability, with that power and the ability to run and play center, he may not play center long-term, but he can play center right now. That's a special player. So all that to say, we're just looking for a below average hit tool here. He's got to be a 40 hit. If he is, then all right, we're really cooking with something with Spencer Jones. And this weekend looked like he might be really getting to that point where I was told that he's slowly getting to. Here's somebody who caught my eye this weekend. That's AJ Ewing. He hasn't got to the power that we've wanted to see, so far. He's actually hit the ball pretty hard. He's running an average EV between single A and high A at like 89.5. He's topped out at 111. Look at that swing. I mean, there's certainly some bat speed here. It's a really balanced swing. Like, there's a lot to like here. He had 6 hits over the weekend, 2 doubles and a triple that I got to see. So Ewing's fascinating to me because he's a 70 runner as well. I got some legit clock times on him that are 70 grade. And when you watch him, when you take those swings, it's like, yeah, this kid can really swing it. I'm fascinated with what AJ Ewing does because he's somebody that really caught my eye. And if you can have, so he's another one. The hit tool is probably plus. The approach is probably plus. The speed 70. He's a good glove, solid enough glove. And if you can just tap into like 15 home runs, then that's going to be a really fun profile in the majors. And he's still young, but you watch and you see that bat speed. You see what he's capable of doing in the box. And I saw him, I think a triple, he smoked to the opposite field, double to the pool side, a couple of those doubles. But there is some juice in the bat. And by those exit velocities, you can tell there is something there with AJ Ewing of the Mets. So certainly somebody to keep an eye on in that org. He was drafted a couple summers ago, and he really is beginning to take off. I like the profile, and I'm pretty intrigued by what he brings to the table as a bat. Another one that I got to see was Eli Serrano. This is a 6'5" lefty corner outfielder. You can see that tall and lanky frame. That bat speed's good. Serrano hits the ball consistently hard. 4th rounder last summer out of NC State, but that bat speed is ridiculous. And I know the surface numbers haven't quite been there. He's not hitting for a ton of home runs. I think he's got 7 home runs and 6 stolen bases, if I'm not mistaken. But you look at the bat speed that he produces, you look at the exit velocities. If you're watching there, the exit velocities this year, I think it's like right now, he's a 90.5 mile an hour average EV, a 9th percentile of like 107. And his max is up over 110. So there are some intriguing traits with the profile. Serrano has a good approach. I saw that. And pretty good feel to hit. Now, he did strike out some over the weekend. That was something to watch, but contact rates are average to above average. He shows a good approach. He takes a walk. So Eli Serrano of the Mets was certainly somebody that was pretty fascinating to me. But let's talk about another hitter who had a big weekend, and that's Yordan Sanchez of the Baltimore Orioles here. So this is what I saw in spring training. This film is from spring training, by the way. This was on the backfields, but Sanchez had a great DSL last year, and he's ultimately tearing up the complex right now. Batting average over 300. He's hitting for power. That's a big frame there. You see some of the whiffs, though. That was kind of my concerns, is some of the whiffs against breaking balls, but also like going down and getting that breaking ball and hitting it off the wall for a double was pretty impressive. Well, Sanchez has pretty raw power. The EVs are really good with him for his age. He's 19. So you look at those things and you're like, yeah, there's some things to like here with Jordan Sanchez. It's spelled Jorde. I think it's Yordan Sanchez. And it's a powerful frame. Has struck out. I think it's 28.5% strikeout rate, but the numbers have remained good. The power's there. So certainly something to keep an eye on, but he's somebody that's, again, keeps popping up and keeps performing. So watch out for that name. He's moving up the Baltimore Orioles system rather quickly. He should be in single A pretty soon. I'd be surprised if he bumps out of Sarasota complex and move on up. So fun name to watch there. That's Yordan Sanchez, the Baltimore Orioles. Let's take a quick break. We'll talk about some pitchers on the flip side because there are a lot of good ones, and 2 that I got to see that were pretty fascinating in person, but some other good looks on video as well. We'll break them down here in just a moment. Right out of the break, we got to start with TJ Nichols, who has been really impressive. I saw him like the second week of the season. He kind of really jumped off to me. That stuff has taken a tick up with Nichols, and he looks really, really good. He had a great game, struck out 10 batters over the weekend, racked up whiffs. He's shown some inconsistencies, but the command is really good here. It's really good stuff. And the strikeout stuff has ticked up as well with TJ Nichols. And he's somebody that I've liked a lot all year, and I've kind of stood by him. I think it's one of the better arms in the Rays system right now. The fastball works 95 to 97. He'll touch 99 at times. It's got decent traits. It's not like a standout fastball, but it's got good sinking action and run. You look at the secondaries, that's where he's missing bats. A two-plane slider at 84 to 87 and a nice fading changeup at 86 to 88 miles an hour. I think Nichols could be a guy that should be in Double-A now, but those are intriguing traits. You see, I mean, he's comfortable throwing all pitches to both righties and lefties, and he'll go after you. And that's what he's done. And he's shown really effective bat missing ability. Among the qualified starters in full season ball, Nichols has the 5th highest strikeout minus walk rate. And when it's backed with stuff, when you're in the Rays org, like, I think there's a lot to like with a TJ Nichols who has really, really popped off. But what about this guy? Honestly, I walked into a start on Friday night. I was looking for everybody else, looking for some other pitchers. And this guy named Brendan Girton pitches. It's Brendan, and Girton, Girton. Brendan Girton, actually, unfortunately, didn't get good film of him, but Girton was disgusting. 4.2 perfect innings. He struck out 9 batters and was absolutely electric. Unfortunately, I don't have the full highlights, but this kid was sitting like 97. He was touching 99, and the command was pretty good. He landed 45 of his 62 pitches for strikes, which was very impressive. Watching Brendan Girton, I walked away and was like, all right, there's something here. He's throwing 2 slider variations. He throws a sweeper with like 16 inches of sweep. He's throwing what he calls a slider cutter in like the upper 80s, and he's working on a couple new pitches. So he's working on a sinker. That's obviously important. He is looking to get more ground ball outs with the sinkers, and he's working on a splitter. The Mets have a pretty good pitch dev, and we've seen a lot of their guys take jumps forward. And Girton, I mean, he's kind of taking off right now. Like, if you look at the numbers for Girton, they're pretty good too. And maybe you just think like this guy might just be an old pitcher in high A. He's 23 in 8 months. He was an 8th round pick last year out of Oklahoma, threw like 70% fastball at OU. And here he is in high A, and he's dominating. He's got 2.49 ERA. He's got a 31.2% strikeout rate. Yes, 10.6% walk rate kind of stands out. But over his last 6 starts, 4 of those have been 0 walk starts. He does have a 5 walk start sprinkled in. So it's like, okay, like you could see it go. But the other start there was a 1 walk outing over 4 1/3 innings. But Girton was like super fascinating to me, where I was like, okay, this kid's really doing it. We're going to keep talking about some Mets pitchers. Brandon Sproat, another Brendan in their system. He's working on 23 straight scoreless innings, and he's changed some things. So, like, I had done a breakdown earlier of what Sproat has done, and he has completely changed his arsenal. He's changed a couple things, and it's really taken off. So he moved a couple inches towards first base, which, you know, you may say doesn't matter. I mean, it's mattering for him right now. He's increased the curve usage, which is substantial. So over his last 4 starts, it's a 17.6% curveball usage. Prior to that, it was 4%. And he's racking up whiffs, like an over 50% whiff rate on the curveball, which is awesome. He's kind of curbed the sinker usage a little bit, which is notable, I think, because that was a pitch that was getting hit hard. And he's also using the changeup, where the changeup usage has jumped about 6 percentage points. It's getting whiffs too. So the forcing usage is actually up a little bit, but the velocity's up too. So he's jumped from 95.8 to 97.4 over those last 4 starts. Is that sustainable? We'll see. But when you watch him pitch, you're like, all right, this is like really good stuff. And it's working, because he struck out 27 batters over those 23 innings. It's 6 walks, but over the last 3 starts, it's 3 total walks, 1 walk in each of those starts. So we see Brandon Sproat. He ascended last year to be one of the top pitching prospects in the game, and this year early kind of fell off hard. But he looks back, and he looks better than ever. So Brandon Sproat certainly looks the part. I also watched Will Watson pitch over the weekend. I was excited about that. And there were some inconsistencies, but the stuff was really good with Will Watson. I'll have a video breakdown of that coming out, because I did get some good film with that. Unfortunately, I didn't get it of Girton, but I got it of Watson. So he was somebody that really caught my eye as well. Keeping the trend of Mets pitching prospects, though, Wellington Aracena. This kid I've been writing about all year. This is a young 20-year-old who just turned 20. And he is in single A. Spell his name Wellington Aracena. He's a big righty. He's listed 6'3". He might be bigger than that. This is an absolutely electric fastball. You could argue a 7 on the fastball. He's got a wipeout slider and a pretty good cutter too. And he's just been dominating. That's all he's done is just dominate. He went 4 2/3 scoreless, 2 walks, 2 hits apiece, 7 strikeouts over the weekend. You can see some of the dominance here. The traits on the pitches are really, really good. And he's somebody I keep writing about. I'm like, yeah, this kid might just have it. He had a 32% whiff rate over the weekend. He's allowed 2 total runs in his last 5 starts. Fastball's averaging north of 97, touching 101. It's interesting. He throws a couple changeups in the low 90s. He's throwing that cutter like 92 to 93. He'll mix in a sinker with like 20 inches of run. There's a mid to upper 80s slider with depth. There's a lot to like in this profile. I think the biggest question is command with Aracena, and can he throw enough strikes? And it honestly looks like that he might be able to. So I don't know. I'm watching this kid pitch, and I think there's something here with Aracena. He's 20 and a half years old. He's got the frame. He's got the velocity. He's got the stuff. If the control just ticks up ever so slightly, this is a very, very talented pitching prospect. And I'm very excited about what he brings to the table. And I apologize for all the Mets pitching prospects love. If you are a Mets fan, you're probably loving this. I'm just doting on all the Mets pitchers, but congratulations. Your lab, your development is doing it better than most all right now. But let's talk about an Astros pitcher. That's Miguel Ullola. Somebody I saw in the AFL a couple years ago. He had a phenomenal start over the weekend. He struck out 11 batters and 22 whiffs. So just some utter dominance. Now, weird start because he did walk 5 batters, but he had a 54% whiff rate and a 39% CSW. We're talking about outlier traits on the fastball for Ullola, and that's spelled Ullola. It's from a 5.7 release height, so a little bit below average release height, 93 miles an hour, but 20 inches of IVB regularly, up to 97 on the fastball. You look at the slider, it's like a little bit of carry, 6 inches of glove side movement. He'll mix in a gyro slider as well. He just dominates. Like everything he does is just dominant. You can see this highlight. These are from the Astros player dev Twitter accounts. Some good highlights here of him just dominating a lot of different guys with a lot of different pitches. And the stuff's absurd from the fastball to the slider. He'll mix in a changeup as well. He's got a curveball with 2-plane movement, like negative 12 inches of IVB, low 80s pitch. That changeup's in the upper 80s, 12 inches of fading action on it. So, yeah, you see the Astros, I mean, they've done a decent job of developing. I think that just might be the case here because Ullola has nasty stuff. It's just all, again, about his control. I think he commands the pitches pretty well. You've seen, like, that's some funky movement on some of these pitches. But, Ullola has the stuff, I think, to be a really good major league starter, just given the outlier traits that he has. And he just spins the ball so well. And you watch how it jumps out of his hand. Like, even the catcher doesn't know where it's going sometimes, which is funny to watch. But this kid's talented for sure. And somebody that you certainly want to be interested in and be in on. That's Miguel Ullola of the Houston Astros. It's going to wrap up our show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be Complex Day, so Complex DSL standouts tomorrow. We'll talk about the DSL All-Star game that took place on Sunday and a lot of good stuff there. Josh Norris of Baseball America had some really good insight. He was on the grounds at the DSL All-Star game, and that's where value is, guys. That's where you get the good value. So shout out to Josh for that. BA does a great job, so be sure to check them out as well. But until tomorrow, hope you all have a great day.